there's a part of the ones that think everyone in the entertainment industry is rich. They actually have money.
Sure.
But you see, fame doesn't equal money
No.
at all.
Yeah. Especially in this country.
And there's some people who think when they don't see you on TV, it means you're not working. You're probably struggling somewhere. You know, even when we're acting, there are these 40-page contracts that they give us. I know a lot of artists don't go through that.
A lot. Almost
read
everyone.
I read that and I mark and I make a question mark. I'm like, I don't get this. What do you mean? And all of that. And by the time I say yes, it's because whether it will be a lost cause, like then I'm debating, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Wawan.
King David Studio podcast.
All right, so today I'm hanging out with someone who might regard as a superstar. And a superstar that has lasted long. And I say long because staying relevant for long is not easy. It's not easy at all.
No.
Go to Duma Silel and see how many followers he's got. 2 different numbers. And Rami, you have, for me, transcended time as an actress. And I think there are very few of you who do that. They just stay relevant forever. And I look at you and I say, well done, one for that. Because that is work of legends. Because I've been asked on this show, who are legends? I said, people who are able to stay relevant for a long, long time.
Yeah.
When you look at their body of work, you see, wow, they were great 20 years ago. And they're still great
and
today.
thin and thin.
Yeah, well,
They were great and thin.
I can't believe it's a typical woman. We can't forget that.
No.
Let's
Let's give props.
So I'm glad you're here, man.
Thank you so
It's
much.
such an honor.
Thank
Yesterday
you.
when I was hanging out with Kwatamandebele, with Kendi, I was
Yeah.
Kendi.
Yeah.
And you tweeted, it's like, wow, she's so cool. Because I think you are. The question is, how cool are you? You recognize that?
I call you when I need you. My heart's on fire.
Wait a minute. Wait. Wow.
Doom, doom. Come to me, wild and wild. Doom, doom.
Whoa.
When you come to me, give me everything I need.
And then, gong, gong, gong.
No.
Am I
They still give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams.
Dun,
Dun. So then there's a she does this in the video. And then there's a horse that goes quack, quack. They show the hooves.
Oh,
of the horse.
So did they time the beat with the steps
Yeah.
of the horse?
Obviously, you know horses are musical.
Yes,
so once you
yes.
teach them, then they do
they're
that.
able to
and
do
then it's
that.
like going quack, quack, quack. Then they show her legs. You know, Tina Turner is one of the best set of legs I've ever seen.
Of course.
Yo, beautiful. Yo, what a legend. That woman.
Don't you wonder why I'm giving you those lyrics?
I don't know. Probably you know that I've done a Tina Turner show. I don't know.
Yeah, you have.
Yes, I have.
Richard Lauren just made a thing of your talent.
Wow.
At an age where it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like as in and they spot this black girl who can sing, who clearly has talent, and they make a thing of it.
Yeah, that was a time. And there's a backstory to that, believe it or not. Tina Turner was the first artist I sang her songs, and I'll tell you why. There's this amazing woman who is so talented and kind of a bit underrated, but she's big in the musical side, corporate side, and all of that.
South African.
Yeah. From Durban, Lucia Mtiani.
Yes.
Lucia Mtiani, when I came to Job, we we're doing an industrial theater piece for back in the day for Blue Moon.
Okay.
When Blue Moon just started out.
Yeah.
This is 1990 something.
Late 90s though.
Yes.
Because that's when you were coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we met. Then I found out that she actually sings. And there's a backstory to that. When I came to Joburg the first time after matric, and at that time I was school vet tech.
Yes.
Someone then now you know how old I am. And I went to watch a musical called The Blues Brothers. And Lucia Mtiani was the only black person there.
Whoa.
And she was singing, there's like two two girls, like the ones that always sing
Oh, yeah,
everything. You go
the-
like, I go to the shop, and they go like, I go to the shop. You know,
Oh,
they
those
throw the
moments,
music things. They're like,
yes.
they throw in stuff. But she has such stage presence. I was completely blown away by her.
Wow.
After the show, I just went to say hello. First,
You didn't know her?
no, I didn't know her.
Yeah.
I just said, you know what, great show. She's electrifying to watch on stage.
And as a beggar, she doesn't,
Yeah.
from a viewer's point of view, her role is tiny.
Yeah, but let me tell you, she had the body, she had the voice, she had the attitude, she has the pizzazz. She was just, the stage is there and they're there, but you like,
You want to watch this lady?
you want to watch her.
Yes.
And I think more than anything, I was just like, how did she get there? Why is she the only black person in the production? And who did she have to fight against to get a spot like that? Like, because, with black people at that time, you have to work 20 times harder.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew that this woman really, really works.
Because you're saying fight, not convince, not charm, not impress, but
just
fight.
definitely a fight.
Yeah.
Definitely a fight. For her to make it that far back then, for me, was mind-blowing altogether. Then a few years later, I think probably 2 or so, we meet on this other job, the industrial theater. Then I recognize it because Kostegi, you've got eyelashes, you're wearing wigs, you've got red lipstick.
And costume.
Costume. Now we are like this, no makeup, nothing.
Yeah.
And as she's busy talking, I'm like, no, man, I think I know this woman. And, we get on like a house on fire and we like each other.
Yes.
She's a great person, an amazing cook. By the way, she has a cookbook as well that she released. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Then one day, she got double booked for a gig. And, when you say yes to a 200 rand job, after I said yes to a 200 rand job, the one that they said will come back to you, which was going to pay you 500, eventually comes back and say, oh yeah, you're confirmed.
Yeah, and it's like,
I can't drop the other people. And then there was a time I even stayed with her. I mean, I used to live in Soweto.
Yeah.
But she just invited me over, and I was just, this woman doesn't know me from above, so.
But you liked her,
and I liked her, but and she was always such an accommodating person, and a lot of artists would come chill with her, and not because of anything, but just because she is really cool like that. She listens, she gives advice, she makes you forget your problems, and she cooks well, and she'll serve you nice wine and all of that. And she's the one who taught me the 8 hour, by the way.
Oh, well, look at that.
Hey, stop using that thing. You can't use that now. This is what we use.
Leave labello.
Hey, yeah, leave. At that
That's
point,
my
I thought I was happening with the label.
Labello
But, there's 8 hour. A blue, the classic.
There you go.
I actually like the yellow one, the medicated one.
No, my default is blue. It's always here.
Yeah,
on
I was
desk.
feeling myself. Kante hi, Lucia was like, okay. So anyway, now Lucia doesn't want to let those. Then I don't know what excuse she said to them, what she gave them. But then she said to me, listen, I'm gonna find your address. You're gonna learn this. You said you can sing, right? Yeah. Okay, here's a list of the song. Learn this. Learn this. Then there's some of the things that you can just throw in the chorus. We spent the whole night rehearsing, okay?
Wow.
And she...
This is the 200 gig.
Yeah.
This is the... Yes.
She gave me a dress, gave me expensive pair of shoes. I remember those shoes. I just forgot the brand.
Yeah.
But all I remember, because they were new, they still had a price tag.
Whoa. So that's how you saw how much?
Those shoes were 2,200, and this was in the late 90s.
What?
Even
by today's standards, that's extremely expensive.
I had never worn shoes that expensive.
She said, take or diadime.
And no, yeah. And you know what? She eventually gave them to me.
That's amazing.
I kept them. She gave them to me.
Yes.
And then I went and I did the show on her behalf. And they loved me. Then a month or so later, because she had been doing Girl Talk. She was the first black person on Girl Talk, by the way.
That's someone to talk to.
I was the second.
Yeah.
Yes. But I was the second because she told me, Richard Loring is doing this thing and I think you must go. And when I got there, there were a lot of other black women.
Yeah.
The black girls to come and audition and everything. But well, since I learned from Lucia, guys, can I just tell you that I nailed it?
Of course.
She's like, you must always look at the audience, make eye contact, smile, speak to them, sway, move.
They call it
everything you do.
gyrate.
Yeah, it's like everything you do. Don't just walk
with
stretch your stuff.
Yeah.
What an amazing woman. And that's how I started getting singing gigs.
What?
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Yeah. Just Lucia Mtiani.
One, unlikely. Two, unplanned. That's not where your career was going at all in your mind.
No,
or
at
was
that time,
it?
no. I was studying music there.
Yes.
At the point. And in my mind, I said, okay, I'm going to do my degree finish, and my diploma finish, then start looking for work and everything. And, I would gig there. I had a band at Tech with some of the guys and all of that. And, we'll go perform Yana Mole.
Nothing.
When they're like, okay, I don't know, at that point, who had the biggest names, whoever that was performing at the time.
Late 90s.
Yeah,
We're talking, quite was becoming a thing.
Yeah, but then we only performed at jazz.
Jazz
shows,
gigs, yeah.
And when people are still coming in through the gate, and then there's like 50 people sitting there waiting for the real artist to come. That's us. That's us.
You are curtain raising.
We were, now there was no curtain outside.
Well, but you know what I mean.
That's where you sing Music in the Air. That's when you sing
all the big songs.
Like,
and the Farsi songs.
Yeah, you sing Brenda, Miriam, and then you also sing Ella, you sing Nina Simone.
Oh,
My Baby Just Cares. That's like a national
My
anthem,
baby just cares for her. That's a classic.
Yeah,
So you would sing songs like that?
Yeah.
Then your knowledge of lyrics is pretty good, which is why when I gave you this paper, I didn't deliberately write the name of the song.
Yeah.
I thought, this will throw it off. And you may have noticed, I put the chorus in the middle, so it's Kabonahar.
Yeah.
Where she says, simply the best.
Yeah.
And I thought it'll throw you off. And immediately you looked at it and
the
you
first
started
line,
singing.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew what it was.
So your singing is something that you still celebrate inside of you.
Yeah, definitely.
But we haven't seen much of it, though.
No, you won't.
In the public, so to speak.
And that is completely intentional. Let me tell you why. A bit of a controversial story to tell. But, me and artists, right? And
Sanyova.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've realized that I learned very early in the music industry, like sometimes when I'm bored, I would read. Even when we're acting, there are these 40-page contracts that they give us. I know a lot of artists don't go through that.
A lot. Almost
read
everyone.
That. I read that and I mark and I make a question mark. I'm like, I don't get this. What do you mean? And all of that. And by the time I say yes, it's because whether it will be a lost cause, like then I'm debating, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? So even in the music industry as well, me singing, I was like, I don't want to be going to Moretele Park. And
we keep going.
Okay. Now we know why we were in that.
Of course.
And for one of the many reasons was that I also realized, when people like Lucia as well, because Lucia is not big in the music industry.
No.
People some of the people don't think Lucia sings. They don't think Lucia.
But she's a working artist.
But she's a working artist.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned the land or the world of corporate gigs. So you get a corporate gig, you start singing, you arrange 2 sets of 45 minutes each. So you perform the first 45 minutes at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay? Whether they're having dinner or whatever.
And it is slowish music.
Yeah.
Very calm.
Yeah. And then at 10 o'clock, you come with, come on, baby, take a hand, do that conga,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then, I want to dance with somebody. Because now people want to boogie a bit. You do that 45 minutes. That now leads into a DJ.
Yes.
Once that is done, you get off stage, you get into your dressing room, change back into your clothes, and you go home.
That's it.
Now.
There's no star here.
No.
Yeah.
Then you get paid 40,000.
And I just paid someone that kind of money very recently. That's why I know.
And that is old money. This was that's way
back in the
like
days.
back in the day.
Wow.
Okay. Back in the day.
You make me feel like I'm a robile.
No,
But yes.
It depends on which company.
Yes.
Which company.
Yeah.
And they give you your money. Half of the time they'll give it to you in advance. They can give you a deposit. And on the night when you arrive that day for sound check rehearsal,
you
the balance is in.
Yeah.
And you perform. 11 o'clock, you are home, you're sleeping. Now, being mainstream sometimes, because not everyone gets paid that great. It's nice to say you charge 150,000 or 100,000, whatever the case might be. But after you pay your musicians, chances are you'll be left with 40,000 rand. But then you waited for 4 hours to get on stage. The sound wasn't as great as you thought it would be. The audience was grumpy because the show started late. You're supposed to perform at 11 p.m. and now you're performing at 2 a.m.
Not happy with you.
And you only get home at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay? And then you spend the rest of the day sleeping because now you're trying to recharge because chances are that night you've got another show.
Gig.
So I've never had the desire to do the Beyonce thing.
Is it because you saw it from a distance or you saw it through other people?
I think
because you've had to experience it to get a sense.
No, I didn't even experience it. I just saw it. I knew it. I saw it. Like, listen, I love Brenda Fassie. I love, Judith and I literally grew up on Brenda and Rebecca. And she would sing those songs like mad. Do you understand? And now, I'm not as talented as Judith is. Wabana, when growing up, we knew Judith was going to be
the singer.
Yeah. Okay? And as much as the family knew that Judith was going to be the singer, we equally knew that I was going to be the actress.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
That early?
That early.
Yeah.
Already. I knew what I wanted to do, where I wanted to be when I was growing up. And then when I discovered the world of corporate, I realized, you know what? You can do smart, work smart, and listen, I've got absolutely nothing against being superstars. We've got amazing people. Judith is amazing. Like someone like Kuman is amazing.
Many.
You know, these guys, they walk on stage. Listen.
Candice, so if you've seen her perform, it's something else.
It's electrifying. You get these things.
You get goosebumps.
Konale, your chest starts vibrating.
And one of my all-time favorite lately is Simpiwe Dan. I've had a privilege of doing so much.
I was about to say Simpiwe Dan. You know, Simpiwe Dan opens the first note like she doesn't want to. And you're like, Heaven, okay. Then she picks it up and you're like, hey.
And then it ends up over there.
And I love that for them.
Yeah.
But now also having studied music, because there's also business studies, and you need to your research, and then you must now pick your strongest trait. You know,
of these lessons you're learning at school.
Some people are triple threats, some are double, and some are single. Now, how do you spread yourself across if you can do all three?
Yeah.
Understand? So, and I think that's what helped me to start counting and learning about so many musicians. And that are amazing songwriters, and they can actually pull a note, they play instruments, but they've never released an album.
And they work.
I mean, someone like Diane Warren. Nobody knows any Diane Warren song. She sings.
I don't know her either.
Diane Warren is one of the best songwriters in the world. Diane Warren has written for Celine Dion. My Heart Will Go On and On.
Okay.
Songs like
Those are people. Those are people who live really well.
Whitney Houston. She has written for Mariah Carey. She has written for TLC. She has written for even the young ones. Okay, I'm like when I say the young ones, people that came around who Beyonce vibes.
Oh yes. Well, they're young.
But but
nobody. And yet on the song credits, those are people who make the most money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? It's that. There is so much to music. And also when you and it pains me. Now we're getting into another part. It pains me when artists die ka mogare because they're not getting what they're yearning for.
Yeah.
There is only one Beyonce. There is only one Whitney Houston.
Even the Bible has one Jesus.
Even that, even
Yeah,
the Bible
like
has one
there's only
Jesus.
there's only one Mandela.
You know,
Yes.
and you find her now someone is dying to be like the other one. Can't you can actually sit and negotiate your strengths and see how you can work around them. There's in music, let me just let's break down the music industry. In music, there's the performer, but after being the performer, there's the band, there's the songwriters, there's the arrangers, there's the producers.
Yes.
There are people who I went to Technicon with and we studied music together that have gone on to be teachers, lecturers, whatever. And they teach
but
music.
they had different aspirations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, that when you branch into the arts, it's not just about being in the limelight. You might be in the limelight because you're a good musical arranger. You're a good chord, you know how to
play great
chord
chords. Yes, progressions.
and you can actually help. You know, another example, Margaret Toza Mamotsagi. For me, she's the number one backing vocalist in South Africa.
The country, yeah.
Tozama has never stopped working.
And let me see. It's that lady that...
She's on Idols.
Yes, okay. Yes. Got it. Yes. Yeah.
And she gives the best music coaching. And she she sings like mad, even as a soloist.
So she can easily be a star on her own.
She could.
Yeah.
She can, and she knows it.
Yeah.
And she has done that because she's one of the lead vocals, Kojoya Celebration. You know? I mean, her rendition of My Help, Psalm 121, blows your brain, like it will blow you away.
Wow.
And some of the notes that she hits. But you know what? She saw a gap and said, you know what? And I'll never go hungry again. And that's what I hope our artists can get to see and understand, that it's not just about the spotlight being on you.
But it's a difficult thing to... And you haven't gone to music school.
No.
You would understand that it's not easy when you walk in. And I remember this as a radio person. I walked in with one goal and one goal only. To have a microphone in front of me.
Yeah.
It took me long because I joined radio in 93 at university. I only got a proper microphone in 2010.
Yeah.
Imagine that long time of waiting and aspiring and hoping and hoping and hoping. It's easy for a lot of people to give up and say, nah, it's not for me, because the goal is the gold.
But that's what I'm saying. You see, the goal is the gold.
Yes.
Definitely. But you didn't, you were waiting, you were working while you were waiting.
That's true.
And you were kind of polishing your skills, you were doing this. And sometimes you do have to do the dirty work. You know, you get to be the one who brings the coffee in studio. And the next thing, the DJ decides, hey, Mona David, so tell us, how was your weekend? You're like, yeah, well, hello.
Put up a voice.
Well, the weekend was quite great, man. I enjoyed myself. Yeah. You know?
And then there's some people that are reacting to that.
Yeah.
It's
a shame, man.
This guy?
Yeah. And then the day they don't ask you how your weekend was, they start asking, today you didn't ask David how his weekend was.
That's what listeners do.
That's what listeners do.
And then suddenly...
And then you slowly grow into them. And then they are not surprised when all of a sudden you're the one on the center stage.
That's so true.
So it takes a lot of... The entertainment industry takes a lot of guts. And not just guts, but it also takes a lot of determination. A lot of no's.
What does that mean?
Where you can just put the nose on, and you can actually, all the nose that you have gotten in your life, they can actually make a wallpaper.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
Yeah, that's the story.
And there will be people. Now you're talking about waiting. And you know why I'm just talking about Beyonce, because there's a lot of South African examples, but I don't want people saying favoritism. Now we don't understand how huge Beyonce is, but we've got videos of Beyonce when she was 4, when she was 5.
That's true.
And she was starting to work her way through seeing how to hold a mic, seeing notes, do this and this and this and that.
Constant
And
work.
now she is 41,
Yeah.
42, whatever,
Mhm.
or 43. I don't know how old Beyonce is. But now,
Yeah.
we get to reap the results of all the hard work that she put in.
Mm.
Do you
That is-
understand?
So you're saying there's a lot to be said about patience and hard work and continuous hard work.
Yeah, and it has to be constant.
Yeah.
It has to be constant. So, osafela pelo, you can't be impatient and say, I don't understand why I'm not breaking into. It's not just about breaking into the industry. And we need to go back and rephrase that line.
Mm.
Because you're not breaking.
Breaking.
No. It's like you put a seed into the soil.
Yeah.
By the time it sprouts, it had been.
It's done so much
It's
work
been
underneath.
burning underneath the heat. Do you know how hot it is under the soil?
Mm.
And it's been getting watered. The next thing you forget the hose pipe, you're drowning the poor thing. So many things.
And you don't
happen.
even see
You
it.
don't even see it.
Yeah.
You don't even see it. And one day it goes boop.
And it's like, and we call that a break.
Break. And it's like, what do you mean break? Do you know where I've been?
Interesting. There's what is this tiny little tree that gets pruned? It's tiny.
Yeah, the cute the
bonsai or
the
something.
bonsai tree.
Yes.
Yes.
Apparently, it does the same.
It
takes 10 years to define itself underground, and then it
the baobab.
starts. Yes, exactly.
Those things, the roots grow all the way across before they can even go up.
Wow.
And that's one of the lessons that we need to understand as people. And also, our journeys are not the same. Yes, there's gonna be someone, and people are like, yeah, this guy was just sitting in a bar and he got discovered. No. He had been singing in the bar
for long,
and just that one day, Clive walked in.
Clive Davis. What's his name? Clive Davis. Yes,
walked in.
Yes,
and he was like, "Who's that?
Who's that guy?"
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, he was just discovered.
No,
you know that guy who sang that song with John Legend just last.
No, recently.
Yeah.
Yes,
that guy has been singing. Tandas.
Tandas.
He has been singing. When you go to his TikTok, he's been recording
lots of these.
He's got. But guess what? His break.
John Legend
came in now. All of a sudden, he's singing with please, that flow wasn't. He didn't just wake up and.
No. Imagine me suddenly having a flow and then I get discovered. That would be America. If there's nothing before, and the following day I'm discovered.
No, then we know you're pulling a Milli Vanilli.
but
like, David, are you sure it's you?
Well, that's me. But tell me though about what today's young people, and you raising young kids, and you have a lot of them around you.
Yeah.
These are kids who are growing up in the era of quick consumption.
Yeah.
And quick success. And I call it quick success for lack of a better reference.
Yeah.
And I'll use Bobby Cooper as an example.
Yeah.
Because I've done 2 shows with her already for the Telcom production. When we put her on stage the first time around, the client made a simple request and said, we need a piano shows.
Yeah.
At least 2 or 3. And we looked around and found 1 or 2 vocalistic and so forth, Gamompel and so and so forth. Yeah. And there was this kid.
Yeah.
Bobby Cooper. And when we looked around, she had done 2 songs, or like 1 song.
Yeah.
And she had been in the business for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I remember my niece coming to me saying, no, but she's really good. She was a fan on social media.
Yeah.
She's really good.
Yeah.
I ignored her commentary. I moved on. No, she's really good. She kept on saying this to me over and over again. I said, all right, let's put her on stage. She'll sing along because there's a feature. Sing along with the people that are featuring her, Maroto.
Yeah.
And there she was on stage. Struggled a little bit, poor kid. We did a few rehearsals, struggled a little bit, but eventually got it right. And then she became a star.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks. Even the interview, you've been in the business for 3 weeks. Yes, I was doing soccer and then I did this and it kind of worked. What do you say then to these young kids who, one, they see others who are doing that?
Yeah.
And then we are here as Baholo, it takes time, Wanaka.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to them? Because they're living in such a confusing reality.
Yeah. Everything that you're saying is true because that kind of instant success, like with Bobby Cooper, for instance,
Yeah.
being the example, saying, okay, she was doing other things and then put this thing out 3 weeks later, it is out there.
It's big.
You see? But now it is big. It jumps out. Now, what comes after that? That's what's now going to test her patience, her determination, because you're not going to have every
song
hit.
won't be a hit.
It won't be a hit.
Yeah.
And there are days where you're going to start looking and go like, but guys, I'm the hottest thing. I mean, I'm not saying her, but
no, yes.
yeah, but then you wake up, you realize, then you realize, no, man, it's not just about being a hit. It is sustaining the hit. Even when you're a hit, it comes with such responsibility. The follow-up to that, what is it?
It sounds like it's harder to follow up
it is
than
harder
to create the
to follow
first.
up.
Yeah.
Because the foundation is not as strong as someone who's like, I've been at it. So, and which is why I say our journeys will never be the same.
Yeah.
And also there's this thing that people call the X factor. Yeah. There's just that thing that when someone walks into a room, immediately, you know what? I might not know that woman, but that woman is a star.
There's something there.
There's something there. Like, I don't know what. You can't put your finger on it.
Yeah.
And not everyone instantly shows that.
Can we buy the X Factor?
Eh?
Can we buy it somewhere?
No, you cannot.
I see you, I hear you.
No, you cannot. You can't buy it.
Yeah.
And there's this presence as well that comes with the X Factor. Wabana Casper. Casper has the X Factor. And he knows it. That's what I he's so arrogant, but in a very charming way.
Yeah.
Casper at the phone, he calls himself.
And
he goes,
picks up.
He dials and goes like, hello.
Eta?
Hello. Mfethu so bianong. Hayi bona. I'm good wena. Hayi lena ke right.
And like this. And then what is the other
we're not this way.
I like that.
And it has worked for him.
Yeah.
And not only has it worked for him as a superstar, but he also had to learn the journey. Not only is he an amazing superstar, but he's also a great business person. That man is building an empire.
That's true.
We're gonna look back in the next couple of years and go like, but guys, Casper literally did it in front of us.
What give, in your opinion, from looking in, what in your opinion is the one factor that creates the statement that you just made that he's going to build an empire? What are you seeing?
It's how he does his business.
Yeah.
It's how he does his business, and it's how he literally manipulates anything and everything he touches
into money.
Into money.
Yeah.
Understand? Casper is not a boxer, but guess what Casper is now?
I like how
he's a boxer.
He calls himself I'm a rapper, celebrity boxer.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's not like he wants to fight Mayweather.
No.
He doesn't want to fight Mayweather, but he understands the power of entertainment. He knows what the people want. He saw the niche. He saw a niche and said, my name, a few months of training, a few skits here and there. Yeah. And guess what? People are coming. Now this thing is going to be all over TV. People are betting on it. We can't wait to watch this. You see, we can't wait to watch this. Today. And right now, in fact, and the funny thing is that we don't even care who wins.
No.
It's Casper's show.
Exactly. We know it's
Casper's show. We know it's Casper's show. He can choose. He can lose. He can fight square. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the main aim is to bring proper entertainment to the people. He found a gap and he's using it. You
highlight him largely because you're talking about the X Factor.
Yeah.
And the fact that not everyone is bestowed with this X Factor. Yeah. If it was lights, not everyone will have this light on top of them.
No.
And you say it can be bought, but can you work on elements that give you that?
Yes.
Essentially, I'm saying we can't all lose hope.
No,
when we don't have
you can. You can.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who don't have the so-called X Factor.
The light on top of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can give a very silly example. Someone like Ed Sheeran.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When he walks there, man, come on. Go buy bread kind of a vibe. Yes. And then he picks up the piano, the guitar.
And put a microphone in front of him.
And then you go like, wait. Okay, he's got soul. wow, actually, he's talented.
So not everybody walks in with it.
No, not everybody walks in with it.
Yeah.
Some of it you get to learn, and then babang ke di diamonds in the rough.
No,
Man.
true.
Some of them are just sitting there.
I like the way you phrase it, where you don't walk in with it, but your talent will speak for you.
Speak for you.
Yes.
Exactly. Your talent will speak for you. Well, one of that Global Citizen concert that Beyonce came in and did,
Yeah.
the best performance is still Casper.
True.
You know that song Manati Mpolai is a collaboration.
Mm.
Ne? Casper performed it one man and danced.
The whole song.
The whole song. Listen,
tight
I was
pants.
losing my mind.
He was wearing the tightest pants in the
They're
world.
going to start thinking, I like Casper more than I like other people. But because
Doesn't matter.
I think I spoke about Casper for 10 minutes.
No,
but I like his work ethic.
When we started this chat, we spoke about how long you stay relevant.
Yes.
You can't help acknowledge that. And again, we go back to Casper deliberately, that he keeps it refreshing.
Yeah.
This thing that he's offering.
Yeah.
And that for me.
See him as a superstar now, we forget. I remember Kale, a few years back, someone found, I don't know if it was Casper himself that posted the video, or someone found the video where Casper was like really starting out. Hey, arepa, and and you could hear her. He had a thing, but he wasn't.
It wasn't Nessa.
But there was just something about Kia, and when you look at the Kia, like, but no, it looks like Kiona. Yeah. Let's try it one more time. And at that time, he didn't even look like
he would
blow
up. Interesting. I have a Casper story, and he tells the story often when he gets a chance as well. I met Casper Nyovest at Hlatswadibian.
Yeah.
The very rough.
Yeah.
Nowhere. He's just a guy trying to make it. I have a friend, Tasso. He's a music producer.
I know Tasman.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he would get.
Tasman Walekoko.
There you go. Yes. He would go to the Northwest, Mafikeng in particular, and go fetch these kids that had talent. He's done the same with Dukes.
Yeah.
And he did the same with Casper.
That's another talented person.
Oh, amazing. Interesting. I used him on a voice very recently as Tswana. He's amazing.
Hey, guys. Dukes. For real. When he said Tuksinganga, he wasn't joking.
No, he wasn't.
Yo, wow, man.
There you so Casper Q at Tasso's house. I used to go to Tasso a lot. We used to record jingles for African language radio stations.
Yeah.
We recorded that song with Tasso. I walk into Tasso's house. There's always random people. Musicians. It's a studio. There's always a guy who's sitting there waiting for his chance to rap on a beat and all of that. Unknown artist. And there's one, Kiola Mola, sink washing dishes.
Yeah.
Sure. Tasso, I don't know what Tasso said to him about me. And he's excited to meet me. Okay, Nadaman. And okay, cool. Sure, Tiag. Why are you here? No, we're making music with Tasso. And Tasso tells me, no, he even lives here. Like,
wow.
Yes, he sleeps there. Yeah. They create music. Because that was Tasso's commitment to, I'll fetch this kid. They don't have a place to live in Joburg. Put them in my house. I see their talent. Sleep on the couch. Create music.
Yeah.
You won't believe that album has never been released.
Wow.
Yes, it's there somewhere. Wow. The raw Casper wa Motswako.
Original.
Wa Motswako, who was rapping ka Motswako. And for me, the reason I highlight that is that it shows the very story we're confirming, that patience, tenacity, continuous work is really what happens, where you're willing to sacrifice and say Tabor. But one thing that came across, even from what's that Casper then, the ambition and the drive to become a superstar.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
And when he sits in it, you can't hate on that, man.
No way.
You can't.
Then you have problems.
Yeah, then you have problems because it's the same thing with exercise. You can't just wake up and think you'll have a 6-pack.
No.
You can if you got money.
So. I hope
you can if you have money.
Lipo.
Lipo and you get a 6-pack. But can I tell you what the problem is? Because you haven't learned the discipline of maintaining a 6-pack. 6 months later, you're big again. The 6-pack is gone. You must go back.
Do you know someone is going to identify so well with what you just said? There's a Haitian again now. I
Hey,
went in
because
bang
you go back,
khoba bauntsha mafura.
yeah, ba munyolla ditshila, ba munyolla. But because you didn't learn the discipline
Yeah.
that gets you there, it was an instant thing, you know, and now you cannot maintain it.
And it's the same that said, because I look at the Mapiano era, and you were there during the Kwaito era.
The best era, like
Ever.
by far.
Do you know,
ever.
interesting. I want to bottle that statement and then transport it to young kids today.
Yeah.
They will say the same thing 20 years later. They'll say the
Yeah.
best era ever.
Yeah. You know what? Because it is in there. And that's what Mapiano has done. Mapiano comes at a time where young people are basically trying to find themselves. And unfortunately, they find themselves in a situation where a lot of things are not going as well as they should.
True.
What made Kwaito successful, and now I'm being political, is that we were all excited about the emancipation, about the freedom, about now we get to vote, we can walk into whatever restaurant. Hey, Lohoa, you're not going to tell me anything. I know my rights, kind of a vibe.
Yes.
You know, it
I got
came
freedom.
with that.
Yeah.
So Kwaito came with a lot of hope. Kwaito came with a lot of your dreams are valid and they can actually
be realized.
Yeah. Kwaito came with opportunities. And Kwaito came with such bravery that, you know, everyone became fearless for some strange reason. Like we could, here we na. What's up, Koko Yoville? Go Rocky.
Rocky Street.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
We were partying everywhere. Not so, Thursdays, Tando. We knew those things. And that's the kind of elements that Kwaito came with. Now, Mapiano is more labored than Kwaito.
Kwaito, yes.
Amazing music. I like that, you know, you can go and that it's used in a beat and it sounds nice.
Do you want to know the most common Mapiano word?
Eh?
Do you know the most common Mapiano word?
There are a lot, but tell me the most common one. I don't know.
Because I edit live performances.
Yeah.
You watch it over and over and over and over again. Here, Asambe. It is
Asambe, yes, that's right.
Asambe. It's like, Asambe siyakuphi. Yasifiki na. Dallas hamba. Whoa.
And you know that you say it, you are right.
Yes.
So now, Mapiano is big.
Yeah.
We can never dispute that.
No way.
But now, the responsibility that comes with Mapiano, the way the world is wired is not ready to meet it where it is pitching it. Mapiano has done anything and everything. Have you seen these kids in school uniforms dancing go school? It's effortless. And then just combine their hairs.
You got the rhythm.
Yeah.
I suck.
You
got something.
I know. No. I like a jive Hashem, by the way.
No.
You don't know. You see this, some of these challenges, I'm just like, I no.
You got the vibe.
I'm bad.
Whoa.
Bad.
So you got natural dance rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. I
used to have it. Now my legs are all the same.
And and I know a lot of Amapiano songs because obviously with my kids and everything, but also the love of music.
Yes.
I think when you're passionate about music, you must go as far as you can.
Yeah.
You know, don't just say, "Oh, I'm a jazz person. I like Gregory Porter."
That never
be
works.
good. No, it's not just about being good. It's also about
Assam.
Yeah, kind of. There's this other one that I love now. Oh gosh, I'll remember. But yeah, and my granddaughter loves it. But yeah, there's so many of them. But now the labor that comes with Amapiano, by the way, that's where I wanted to go. Is that the state of the country doesn't support the wave and the wave of the Amapiano.
How would remove state and say country?
That's the state of the country.
Yes,
definitely.
Yes. When you say state of the country, is the collective mindset?
Yeah,
of
all
everybody,
of us. But not just a collective mindset of everybody, just as people. But I'm also talking in terms of leadership. Okay. Accessibility, like unemployment rate, it is at its highest.
Yeah.
Education levels have dropped. The standard of education has dropped.
Yes.
The infrastructure has dropped. Accessibility has dropped. So you find these people with a burst of energy and talent, but with nowhere to place it.
Sure.
And that's not what happened with piano. With Kwaito.
Yes.
Kwaito, you laid it. I was laughing yesterday. I was listening to Glenn.
Yeah.
And he
in
played,
the afternoon, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and he played TKZ song.
Yes, I was
and
listening.
then I was laughing at Kabelo because he says, hey, Kisama.
Sama bula
Rama. Just like,
I was interesting. We were listening to the radio at the same time because I heard that.
And I was laughing
Yeah.
at how, and guys, God bless my gosh. That boy,
he holds down that song.
The whole thing.
The whole song is his.
And then Zai comes,
yes. He holds. Interesting.
He goes.
You say it, and sorry, I'm interjecting. I realize you had exactly what I had. When I was listening to that song, I said, wow, man, he's holding down this entire track.
Exactly.
And yet it's a TKZ song.
Yeah.
But this,
no,
get my gauge,
because now Zwai does the loop.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
Kabelo, we like
sings that thing
that little bit
4 times.
Yes.
But
the whole song,
Magesh was going in and in and in. Repeated a bit more, but
wow,
there's a whole 80% of that song is Magesh.
Nah, you were listening to it exactly the way I had. It's actually quite interesting. I had the same thing.
But what I'm saying is that a song like that, and then what we liked is that it had Sigelela.
Yes.
You know, that thing. Sige has a thing. It says something in us.
Yeah.
It touches different parts of our souls when we listen to the music and duru, then takes us back to Sanford and Son.
That's wow,
you know?
man.
And then Elizabeth Moratua.
We were having the same experience.
It has history.
Yeah.
It tells so many different things. Just that song.
I'm fascinated how we had the exact same experience. I was waiting for Kota. I was somewhere in Soweto.
Go in.
And Kio, they're taking long. I decided to go sit in the car.
Yeah.
And I tuned into 2000 and that song is playing. And it was quiet.
Yeah.
So I was only focused on the song that's playing.
Yeah.
And I analyzed it just as well as you did.
You see, that's exactly what I'm saying, that now, because it fell on fertile ground.
Yes, it did.
It is easy for you and me to listen to it in the same way.
Yeah.
And if Mapiano were to get fertile ground here at home, we wouldn't be having people trying to record Mapiano overseas. They have to come here.
Fertile ground, in simple description, what is that?
Fertile ground is opportunity. Fertile ground is the Department of Arts and Culture giving people opportunities to come and showcase what they have. Fertile ground is understanding the level of unemployment in the country and the desperation that the youth face.
And what Mapiano can do.
And what Mapiano can do.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And now, young people have so many ways of expressing themselves. Mapiano is one of them. It's not the only one. But now, we cannot now put all the responsibility on Amapiano.
And on the kids.
On the kids, because we need other avenues open for the kids to show us what they can do.
That's true. Do you know my favorite thing about Mapiano for me is how it's exporting South African culture to the rest of the world.
Exactly.
How other countries are now doing Mapiano, and it's a South African sound. Yes.
Hey.
Asam.
You know?
Wow.
And if we don't invest in the genre, we're going to be very disappointed.
What are the possibilities?
The young people will be very despondent.
What are the possibilities if we don't invest in it? If people who love music.
If people who love music sees Amapiano as a passing phase, and which is what I don't appreciate. There is no genre that is a passing phase. Even bubblegum builders.
That's an industry on its own.
I mean,
that's an industry.
You walked in and said, Mellow, mellow yellow.
Mellow yellow.
And you know what brought the song? Because that's when corn we ran out of white corn.
Then we had
and then
yellow.
we had yellow.
corn.
We had yellow pap.
Yes.
And Conry walked into studio and said to
There's a song.
then he still say everybody's singing this song. You know?
And that was an entire industry for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, and I was like,
Chico's music.
bana ba mara ba opela ka eng, eh? And then there's even going, I work hard
Every day.
to make my beer. Ha, make the how do you work every day to make your beer? And then after that, we are surprised when the kids they come with all these songs, you know, like and they rhyme so well, and the creativity is there. So, what sustains us? Going back to 25 years of being in the industry, for instance, this is what you've done. What sustains you as an artist is the appreciation of the evolution.
Yeah.
And the evolution, it doesn't mean you throw what you had. You put what you learn and you piece it together. What's the life like in my last lab?
Yes, you take that.
It's patchwork.
Yeah.
And then by the time by the time you're done, you have a beautiful quilt and you cover your whole king size bed. And that's what it is. These are all the elements that have to work together in the music. And I am not fascinated when someone goes, man, I listen to serious music. Please, don't come at me with jazz.
You're just old.
I'm going to disappoint
You're
you.
just old.
Exactly. Don't come at me ka kwaito, kuto surprise. Don't come with me ka bubble gum. Don't come with me ka rock.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I can anything. You move from Gregory Potter to Ella Fitzgerald to Young Stana.
Yeah.
You move to Casper, then you move to Double HP. Double HP. If there's someone that I know most of the lyrics.
What?
It's
no
HP.
way.
It's my favorite. And I remember when he died, my kids called me. They were like, Mama, are you okay? And I was crying.
Oh, no.
And I would love, sometimes I look back and I think, they'll probably think, oh, yeah, no, Rami had a serious crush on. No, that man, the talent that Double HP had, and the foundation that he laid for so many artists that now are like, you know, eating the fruit of the foundation that he laid. I mean, you know, he'll say something like, who talks about the stretch marks, Mama Saite? Like, come on, double HP.
Well, that's a double HP.
You know what I mean? You know, and so
I wonder which song is that. I don't even remember which song is that. I'm trying to remember, but anyway, carry on.
No, that they.
Yeah.
And
I know labori.
That is music and lights.
Music and lights, yes. Labori, that kind of stuff.
To after 9.
Oh.
Made for you to love divine. Yeah.
Oh, yo. When are we double HP?
Fanta pine. Eh, nkwalele fine Joe. Speed. No, I show.
That's amazing. Your appreciation of music is
so that is what I'm
amazing.
saying. We need to appreciate all genres.
Yeah.
Right now, hey, I'm a piano. No. What happens 5 years from now? What happens 5 years from now?
If we don't, and I say we because we, one, either have an attitude about it, two, we don't encourage it, three, we probably have opportunities. I have studios here. Yeah. I could easily bring 10, 20 aspiring piano artists, put a producer together, and say, you guys have 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah, and
let's
also
see what you can come up with.
Don't gag the music.
Give them the space.
That's another thing. Music industry, the big heads, people who have control on what goes on the airwaves, you know, how they restrict rights. If you're independent, then they close you off because they're not going to make money off you. Those kind of things. Then there's a whole lot of battle. Now music one mamang cannot be released because it's tied to this big company. Now they don't want to release that because they didn't fulfill their contract. Things like that.
They're so stifling.
They're stifling, and it kills the passion that now needs to be released with the I mean, you know, the battle with Prince. Prince,
Sony and yeah.
And you know why he called himself the artist?
Tell us the story.
He calls himself the artist because the contract, when you read your contract, even whether it's acting, it doesn't matter. They say, in the contract below, now Rami Chuene will now be referred to as the artist.
Yeah.
So when you read
the whole contract.
the whole contract
calls you
says the
artist.
artist.
Yes.
So he changed his name to the artist so that every time they say the artist,
It's him.
it's actually him. He made sure, because he was just like, no, it was working against me.
Yeah.
Because it keeps saying the artist, the artist, the artist, so that he can actually bypass some of those things. So some of the laws that govern the entertainment industry, I mean, you know about the bill.
Yes.
We can go.
Are we talking about actors and acting?
Exactly.
Ooh.
You can go on and on and on. So much is being pressed down, red taped, gagged. There's so many things. And all of those things, everyone has put their own interests at heart and actually forgot about the artist or the talent that brings the whole thing together.
Is it our general inability as a country to have a wider view of
It's actually a global thing as well. It's actually
we suffer everywhere.
Well. That is why you find people like with Jay-Z, they're trying to have their own channels to different avenues to put their music out there. It's a struggle. It doesn't it doesn't matter how rich you are or how successful you are or how poor you are. The struggle is still the same everywhere. You understand? And it's very funny that it has to be entertainment that suffers more than all the other genres in the world. I mean, even when you have a conversation with SARS, next thing they want your house, they want your car.
They want everything.
They want everything. Next thing you're not even covered. You try, there's no company that's going to pay 40% of your medical aid because we are not taken seriously. It is not, people think, Corey, what we do is an extramural activity. How can I put my life?
When you say people, who are you referring to?
Everyone else who doesn't get the gist of what entertainment.
It's surely not the fans.
Sometimes the fans, they don't get it. They don't get it.
Correct.
You know how
Banana hobby, what you do as a life.
And also, shame, man. I mean, we've got some fans that really, really get it, and some that don't. And now let's focus on the ones that don't. There's a part of the ones that think everyone in the entertainment industry is rich. They actually have money.
Sure.
But you see, fame doesn't equal money.
No.
At all.
Yeah. Especially in this country.
And there's some people who think when they don't see you on TV, it means you're not working. You're probably struggling somewhere. And then there's that part that is not as graceful and as forgiving as the others. When this unit takes it, they go like, wena? I also want today go TV. Unyakanga mo taxi. Yeah. And then uwile. You understand? And then the other ones that completely misunderstand that the artists themselves is not necessarily the person.
Yes. The Sofindaba is not the
Queen Moroka. And also, not even that, because at least when you say Sofindaba, Queen Moroka has a name.
Oh, yes.
Go back to music. I'll go back to Beyonce again. Yeah. Beyonce, there was a time when they were asking about her performance. Like, how do you decide? I just feel something that overcomes me. Then that's when there was Sasha Fierce.
Oh, yeah.
Something comes out, and then she is crazy on stage. Ne? And then when she's off stage, and people think that she'll be like, hello. She's just like, hi, how are you? She's quiet. She's shy. Yes. She looks down. And some of our artists, even here at home, are like that.
That's so
They're
true.
just minding their business. It's not like they really don't want to say hello to you. They also get overwhelmed. Oh my God. Everyone is coming at me. Everyone is coming at me.
It's like, I don't know how to deal with this.
Not everyone knows how to deal with that. Which is why people have teams. You need to be able to get etiquette trained, because IQ doesn't equal to EQ.
Two different.
Those are two different things. You can be the brains of the family, but the most
human relations.
Human relation it sucks completely, and sometimes it's not even your fault. It's that you haven't been taught. So which is why people go, they get someone who's going to coach them. When you get to the politicians,
that's just how you do it.
Well, our politicians, they don't go to that
Interesting.
thing.
We started a thing here at our office where we do media training for people who end up having to do radio interviews and TV interviews.
Yeah.
Because it gets a tricky space.
Well,
then
start scratching their nose, start scratching their hair.
For us, mostly the challenge is what they say.
Yeah.
in reaction
Yeah.
to the question at hand,
Yeah.
it's a disaster.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're here to talk about you. Here's-
Oh, we are, right?
Yeah. Believe it or not. Very quickly, where were you born?
Seshego in Limpopo.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of environment was it when your eyes opened to it? What did you find?
Well, it was quite cool. Seshego is a township, you know.
I'm DJing there tomorrow, by the way. Carry on.
Where in Seshego?
I don't even know. I saw a
You
poster.
see? But Seshego is a vibe.
Yeah.
Seshego is a vibe.
Even then.
Even then.
Yeah.
Even then. The way Seshego is vibe ka gona, it is what Atteridgeville and Mamelodi is to a lot of people who live in.
Go na le modumo.
Go na le modumo, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seshego has a thing. It has that thing. And the way we grew up, I mean, there was enough entertainment. You have enough friends, enough scandals to push you throughout the week.
Wow.
And you can, I mean, when you're growing up, you can hear when your mother is talking to the other mom and then the other woman, and you can tell her, no, man,
Go na le something. Yes.
and it was quite a good environment. It was a normal township.
Yes.
Um,
In the era of
yeah,
Bopatudi, it was in the Bantustan.
Sian Patudi.
Yeah.
And they lived in beautiful houses as well.
course.
Not like the ones we see now, but
Yeah.
they were all uniformed and
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
they lived there. And Seshego was that kind of an environment where it still had bugaye,
Yes.
but it was actually very
Slightly modernized,
very modernized.
township.
We had running water, we had toilets in the house.
Whoa, we didn't have that.
Exactly. Imagine my shock the first time
When
I
you
went
got
to
to
Atteridgeville.
Gauteng.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Yes.
And by the time, when it was my first time going to Peli, already we had moved from Seshego. We were now living, no, I think, we had now moved to another house. We had now moved to Lewago.
Oh, okay.
And at that point, Nakoreshu, we had 3 toilets. And we had 2, like there was a toilet, you had a guest, and we had 2 bathrooms that worked.
And it had a...
It had a
yes.
bath and there was a shower.
Whoa.
And it was in the house.
It's a modern
And we had
setup.
electricity. And now, we had TV. When I was 6, we had TV.
You were
And a
far
very
ahead.
color film.
Of course.
Yeah, color film.
You were way ahead.
Understand? And even before those ones, we had the battery ones where people will come and we'll all watch together.
You realize that you're defining a very rich family in that era.
Yes, and it looked like, but we actually not.
Yeah.
There were people who lived
Better.
when I was upstairs.
No, of course.
Come
That's
on.
a miracle.
Come on. Yeah? One house on top of another.
That's a miracle.
In the 80s. Come on. Those people were filthy rich. It's a Mercedes Benz. Mercedes.
When I was little.
Hey? Ongatsamaka 6 mabone. Those people had cars.
Jeez.
People had cars. I remember my parents had a Chevrolet and it was automatic.
V6 engine. It's a big car.
Hey? And then when it changes, it goes by itself.
By itself.
But there was this guy who we used to go to church with. Every time when he drives in our car, he'll be like, "Utlwa fela, utlwa fela, utlwa fela."
He loved it.
What's that tshware gere? Hey, wena. I know you don't. So it's just that kind of an environment.
You're telling us about the Atteridgeville versus this. When you move to now an apartheid setup,
yeah,
you're finding toilets outside.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here? No, but also because I was in boarding school and the way I love their confidence. But also now that, as you get older, I kind of understand their confidence.
Yeah.
When we were in boarding school, the way they will talk about Peli, the way they'll talk about Mamelodi, you would want to go there.
Yeah.
I felt no man, plus.
And you have a toilet inside the house.
Not 1, 3. Kanti. And we had a double garage. Pavement mo fast.
And we're living in 4-room houses with a toilet. You have to walk to go to it.
And some of them, they were too low. Then you have to kind of squat.
Yeah. Wow, you remember.
Hey, I was, what a culture shock.
Jeez.
Like when we drove back to school that trip, I never looked at these guys the same way.
Or how? Is that it?
No, because is that thing, they will always say, and and then o tla ka sepedi sa gago, and then you realize gore wa tsamaya sepedi se tla ntšha bathong, and then you start going, hey, wa itsene tla ko go bolelele, tla ko go botse, tla ko go bolelele, because you're now trying to fit in. And then you realize, no, man, no.
We carry a lot of that type
Why
of...
are you trying to fit a 1 rand coin inside a 20-cent
It doesn't
coin?
work.
It doesn't work.
That's why we carry a lot of that historic burden. Yeah. O re gona. O tswa dipolaseng.
O tswa dipolaseng.
Yes.
Yeah.
A re gone mo.
Yeah.
You know, it's those type of... We carry a lot of that in the transition, South Africans, and we still carry it even today.
I mean, even with I mean, we did have the forum, like our house was a forum, but we had a front lawn and back lawn.
Whoa.
We had trees.
Big yard.
We had
big
yards. It was really well accommodating, and there was no need to be trying to have back rooms then. I mean, the back room did when people realized, oh, you know what, we can actually maximize the space. But then we didn't have problems like that.
Jeez.
You know? And now having to come here and have this culture shock. It's like crickets.
Changed your view completely.
That's when when we broke for, I was like, do you want to come to my house?
And see where I live?
For a half-time holiday.
Have you ever taken anyone, though?
Yeah, I've taken quite a few people, like from my school. And I know shame. Yeah, that was a hard time.
Their experience? Did they do what you probably thought
they were actually, yeah, I mean, obviously, they'd be like, and then there was a point, then we got a double-story house.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a different world.
Yeah.
That's I even remember the first time I walked into a double-story house.
Yeah.
That's how those moments mattered so much. When you're a child in the township, and now... Yes, the house is bigger.
Yeah. Now you go to Luwachom. Hey, there are big houses
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Jeez.
Luwachom le na le skontiri. You know?
Someone in the 90s.
Exactly. Now I'm talking like I'm in the 90s. When we moved to Luwachom, I felt like we've been upgraded.
Yes.
It was a big deal.
What was the reason for the move to Gauteng? Was it a family move?
No, it was just me. I came alone.
to study?
Yes, to study.
Yeah.
And I lived with my aunt, my dad's elder sister. And what a time. And
where was it?
And Deep Extension. So yeah.
Hey, DK.
Whatever. Yeah. So,
where everything is okay.
Yes, where everything is okay. Yeah, where we like, the neighbors are talking about, but talking, sweetheart, do you mind changing the time I had the sprinklers because they go off that radio? We hear shh, we think it's raining.
I like that.
Those are the conversations go deep kloof, darling, go extension. And go cul-de-sacing early, man, Yeah, I mean, we didn't live far from Kobo, Kabelo.
Yeah, okay.
I was there in that, that's where we are. So
you were here for quite a bit then?
I've been here forever.
Did you come here for tech, for Vets Tech?
Yeah, I came in 93.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I can guess your age to the last day. Probably born in 74, 75.
Yeah.
You see, because of that 93
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been a ride since.
Yeah.
But I remember coming to Joburg for the first time when I was 10 and 10, 11 and in Ertileka Skolo. And it was the first time, one of the schools that we visited was Rodin.
Okay.
It was the first time where I saw velvet curtains on a stage and they were opening by themselves.
Going up
and to the side.
Yeah, because they do.
And they had like a drama presentation for us. And I remember, in fact, before that, I remember when we were arriving, there was an evening of some sort, where we were the beneficiaries, guys.
Okay.
Of course, because we were like a poor school that was starting out, but a great school. Some of the products from St. Mark's College in Jane Furs are running the country. Not in politics.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Nzikisi Sulu is there, so I suppose that counts. But running big organizations, like
Wow.
a lot of them. Then the corporate spaces, and I'm just like, wow, look at you, And then when they go, but look at you, I'm like, guys, let's look at each other,
Okay. Yeah.
And we had come here for a benefit something. We were going to get some of the money because we were like an Anglican school, so
Okay.
it was a saint school.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
So
a fellow
obviously
Anglican.
so all the other more privileged and more advanced schools, they would come and give us some money. There was a fundraiser, so we came. They chose a few of us to come, and we were wearing our school uniform that night because we were going to.
And it's a hall, and
it's a hall and everything, and there's a buffet station.
Hey.
But before we get that, let's go back to this part.
Uh-huh.
I remember we were driving, and we had been asleep, and I just woke up. And when I woke up, I just saw lights.
Street lights.
I don't even care what you want to call them. It was a lot
of lights.
Oh. A lot. Isn't a lot of
lights.
And one of the things that I remember, we took Harrow Road.
Wow.
Which now people call Joslovo.
Exactly, yes.
And at that time when I saw those lights, at that moment, that's when I knew this is where I'm coming to live. Wow. That's it. Fell in love with Joburg completely.
From that tiny moment.
Like since that day, I've always known. I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna live in Joburg.
Wow.
Those lights were saying, babes, ufitlile, you're home.
This is where you belong.
I wasn't overwhelmed. And it looked like I even had a deja vu moment. Like I think I've been here before. Kind of a vibe,
yes. Your soul had lived in these lights.
When I saw those lights, I was like, I'm here.
That's a special moment.
Then that's when I knew I was going to come back.
Jeez.
I knew it.
But the experience with this school, this exchange, I'll call it exchange, this donating school, surely that was a moment as well.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Because you referred to these giant curtains and all of that.
Yeah.
Did that inspire the performer, the actor, the aspiration in you?
Completely, because with us, Kolong, we only had like a flat ground, and then they had it was literally 20 centimeters high.
That stage.
And then they used stones
to
kind of barricade it.
You barricade to create a stage.
And then they put swale, and then there was a little step. It had a special name, I just forgot, but it was a stage.
Yeah.
And then everyone would sit around it and would perform there. And even when when there's like a change of costume, you're just right there changing in front of everybody quickly and going like, oh yeah, now today, and then you have this one. And then you come back, now you put a bit of
wow.
And everything happened.
There's no go quickly, go change room.
No. And imagine moving from that and you drive, see all these lights.
Yeah.
Then like all these white people wearing suits, and there's someone playing the piano.
And this is a school.
And no, the thing was at it was in one of the Southern Sun hotels. But
okay.
Yeah, the event, the actual event.
Yes.
But then we also went and watched a show.
Yeah.
In one of the schools, like one of their theaters.
That's a big, giant school.
And we walk in, there's a whole buffet. Okay. And I think we were in Sandton. We were in Sandton. So I think it was actually the Southern Sun.
Yeah.
Anyway. And they say to us, you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
We were like, what? Like, eat as much as you can.
And anything?
Anything, and we are not paying. And then I know. The first thing I did, I've never seen so many grapes in one area.
Wow.
I took, but they can see we're panicking. Then they give us this, okay, you can start with whatever you want. You must start with a fruit, something. Then I take a side plate.
Yeah.
And I find these grapes, they're sitting there. I take a spoon, I go first clump, second clump, ne? And I say, I'm going to start with this. Then I'll come back and think what we're going to eat. I sit down to eat the grapes.
Yeah.
And because I was so excited, I immediately put 2 in my mouth.
Okay.
And bite on the grape. Can't eat olives. That was my first experience with olives. It took me forever to start eating olives in my life because I was traumatized.
You never
And
tend
also, they had pits.
pits and hard pits.
And I chewed. I was like,
Of course, oh, it'll break your toe.
and the next thing they're trying to give me a napkin. And then next thing, but what do you want? And all I knew was that a burger. I wanted
Oh
that.
no!
They
I
said
can't
which one
believe
I
you.
chose because you could have the buffet and then they also
still
gave us
serve,
the menu.
serve.
Because I think the teachers, they could say, whenever I'm confused, they don't know. And they're like, what do you want? No, I want a burger. They're like, okay. Then they bring us the menu and I choose one of the picture. And it had this beautiful, beautiful melted cheese and everything. I bite into that cheese.
Yeah.
And it's mustard.
Oh, I can't believe.
Yeah, that was
You were having a proper culture shock.
Epic fail when it came to food.
And yet you had a buffet. You could have chosen anything.
Yeah, and now they had to now tell the waiter that she actually doesn't want it. And they said, no, it's okay if you don't want,
Don't
no,
worry.
it's okay. Please
Get something
get
else.
rid of this. She wants something else. It was so overwhelming, but it was also, I was so excited.
Yeah.
And I remember, when I grew up, I used to be a bedwetter. And then after the events and everything, what they did, we didn't sleep at a hotel.
Okay.
So different families will come. We just do there in a line, and then the young
really?
kids, they will come and pick us. Says, do you want to come to my house? Do you want to come to my
Are the
house?
kids from the school?
From the school,
Yes.
yeah. And then the family that picked me, darling, lived in Houghton. Okay, can I just say that one more time? The family that chose me lived in Houghton.
Hey, listen to that.
Okay,
and you were young then.
Yeah. And we walked in. Okay, obviously it's in the evening, and then I met that dog, and I walked in, and there's this dog.
Oh,
They're
no.
Like, no, don't worry, it's not gonna bite.
Yeah, it's friendly.
What time is I think, hey, when I'm checking just CB spotty, I don't care. A dog is a dog.
Yes.
But anyway, and the dog comes want to lick my
Oh,
finger.
yeah, of course. Yes. What is this?
And I remember that night I was so overwhelmed and so everything, a bottle of so many emotions. I was excited, I was overwhelmed, I was happy, I was everything. I couldn't believe that this thing is happening to me. And Mama told me, don't forget, don't drink anything after 6. But dinner was after 6.
Hey.
And I remember I had Coke, we had cool drink. It was just flowing like a river of Jordan. And
you walked in with a full bladder.
Exactly, walked in. And I did go to the bathroom before.
Yes. But it's amor normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember those words.
And I did that. And I wake up the following morning and I had wet this people's bed that they don't know me.
Oh no.
And then they come to wake me up. I'm just like, I don't want to get out of bed. I'm so embarrassed.
No.
Mahoa, what are they gonna do to me? Now I'm no longer excited about being go Houghton.
No, you just want to leave.
I just want to leave. I just want to go home and disappear.
Oh no.
And then I now then the mother comes, shame, and that lady, she comes in and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, and she's like, oh no, do not worry, that's okay. They were so nice to me and I was crying. And I no, don't worry, wear your uniform. And then my uniform was still in my bag. And I no, don't wait like that. And then they get auntie to iron for me. At that time, I'm just embarrassed. I'm standing there in my little skirt and I'm just wearing socks and panties because now my uniform is gonna be ironed. And
You're
I'm just
waiting.
standing there and waiting. Because now after this, they're going to take us back to the school and there's going to be assembly. And I was worried and asking myself, if are they going to tell everyone else that I wet
You
the
were having a big
bed.
crisis as a child. How old were you then? What ages are we talking
I
here?
was 11.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was 11.
Still a child.
Completely. And now I'm just losing my mind in Joburg. And I kept on thinking, these guys are going to remember me forever.
For this.
And tell the story. Shame.
No.
This little black girl came to our house and then she peed. Oh, God, I was traumatized.
Was it you said it's a white family?
Yes, it was a white family.
Yeah. And you thought that this is going to spread.
And they had money. You know, when you walk in and people have 4 cars.
Jeez, yeah, you already...
You know, you go through the gate and then you still drive to get to the house.
Oh.
No.
That's a different experience.
That was and then the gates are electronic.
Jeez, you were having a complete culture shock.
I was just like, so is nobody going to open the gate?
How old were you?
And go, then they have to unlock the. No, it was press release, whatever. Then, and then I get there, they
I like
park,
the sounds.
and they're parking next to other cars. The garages are
Grrr, I
electronic.
like the sounds you
The
make.
pool is so big. And I remember they were asking me, can you swim?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Because I wanted to say yes. And then I realized, hey, what
if they say,
I was like,
I'd rather tell the truth.
yeah, no, I was like, no. And I remember then we had, and one of the nights as well, then they picked us up and then we had to go have breakfast, Korodine.
Yes.
We get there. Ranako Jin, Kose Max Nereja, Borochoka peanut butter, margarine, jam, tea. And you know, that tea, they make in a big pot and then you just.
Oh, really? Yes.
Just
So it's already, they put in.
Everything, milk, everything is there. And walked into that dining hall.
This is at school.
At school.
Yes.
And because also we had one of the nights where we slept at the school.
Okay.
Walked into the dining hall. And then they were like, oh yeah, there's food there. We get there. They had cornflakes. They had Rice Krispies. They had Wheat Bix. They had those ones, Jadi Kala.
No, yes.
The spiral, whatever. The little
pops, those
whatever,
types.
they had those ones.
Yes.
They had hot milk, cold milk. They had cheese. At that point, I mean, you don't know your cheddar from your mozzarella to your Gouda.
Same
they
thing.
had yellow cheese. They had white cheese. They had a fruit station. They had apples. They had pears. They had
now you can
grapes.
get grapes.
Now we can get. No, I didn't even look at those things. I wasn't sure what they were. I was not gonna eat them again. And there was a fruit station. Then there was a cracker station.
What?
There was a cheese station. For
this is
breakfast,
at school.
They had oats. And I was like, I'm not eating oats. I can't come from Genefest to eat oats and then eating oats and then come to Joburg. Listen,
Never.
I was so confused. I remember they even had the thin ones. Those,
yes.
Yeah, but and they had all bran. Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember I tried all bran. It wasn't that great. And they're like, no, you can leave that and go try something else. Like I was just like, guys.
Really? Can I
love this life. Why are my parents not white and rich? Yeah, but wow.
It's for me, what stands out about your story is the differences and really just highlighting the challenges of apartheid. Nothing else, really.
Totally.
How the two worlds were so different.
Totally. Remember how that Simunye advert where they swapped roles?
Oh, yeah. Interesting. I know the guy that wrote the commercial.
Listen,
Yes. Sandile.
When I saw that, I was like,
that's this. Yes, this is us.
I know exactly what they're talking about.
What does that do, those moments do to a young 11-year-old girl from Kwaba to call Kodiplasi?
Yeah, from Kodiplasi.
Yes. What does that do to
At that time, they were still building the school. The school looks beautiful. I mean, by the time they were done with it, it looked amazing. And in Narklapakara had bucket at the time, and we had pit toilets as well. And what they did, they took a long room and put a green tente. The green one. And they just separated it in the middle. And this side was for the girls, that side was for the boys.
What?
And for us, that was normal.
Fine. Yeah.
And then boys would cut holes through the tent and be like, say, ma'am, you can't believe it. Whoever the names were. And then, but it was fine. We were used to it. They were so naughty and we didn't care. And then we were all a bunch of bedwetters. And then after you wet your bed, you take lendrase
and then hang it.
The first time I was worried. There's
a lot of us with this problem.
I was right home. I was at home. And now you see, now you move from that. And then you see all those things. Firstly, being the me that I was like, I can have all of this. And that's one of the reasons. Because the first time I saw the lights, I was like, I'm coming back here.
Yeah.
And when I saw their house, I said, I want a house this big.
Whoa.
I wanted 7 cars and I can name them one by one. I knew exactly
which cars you wanted.
Which cars I wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that moment was quite important.
It was important. And I knew if I wanted all of this, I needed to work like crazy to get it. And I was like, I am going to get it. No maganjani. And at that time, I'm not even thinking apartheid, white people.
You're too young also to.
It just looked like something that I should have and could have. And more than anything, I think I was more inspired than offended because I was like, while everything was happening, the discomfort was trying something for the first time. But after that, I wasn't shy about it. I was like, yeah,
Yes.
flip, man, I deserve this. So even
Wow.
when I didn't want all brain and decided I'll have conflicts, and I was like, no, I don't want this anymore. I
I
want that.
deserve to have a choice. And this is good.
It felt like the good life liked me. And I was okay with it.
And you were willing to embrace it.
Totally.
To realize that it says a lot about exposure.
Yeah.
Young people's exposure to things.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're describing, it's possible that it could not have happened.
True.
Like you could have had a life experience that didn't have that moment of coming to Joburg, one, opening your eyes to these great lights and driving into a house.
Imagine.
That moment could have been missed completely and could have easily turned you into a different person.
Hey.
You realize that.
Hey, guys. Hey.
They're coming back, these things. Eh?
They don't give you the whole 2 slices. No. Banga 2 slices. And then they cut it.
Oh.
And then you get one triangle.
Oh, no. The triangle cut is special.
Yeah. And then there was cheese, tomato, and ham.
Hey.
And then they had folded it in a wax paper.
Yeah.
And then next to it, they had put an apple and they had put a snack bar. I hated that thing. When I tasted it, I was like, what's this? I was like,
look good. The packaging looked good.
Looked good.
Yes.
And they even had an apple, a snack bar, and a packet of chips. Yeah. And they gave me like a proper container. And then they said I could keep it. I think I probably lost it on our way back somewhere.
Yeah. But you had
yeah,
this...
but I walked. When we met with the other friends, I was like, so how did you guys sleep, man?
Do you know what I got?
So, yeah, I was like, so when I got reaching, how was it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was nice. Like, no, you don't know where I slept. And I was trying to ask, so was the house where you slept big? Was it like big? Nako it was big. No, I was very impressed with myself.
Wow. No, but the issue of exposure, I took these young kids from a community radio station.
Yeah.
I did training with them in this very facility with Bob Mabena when he was still around. God.
Guys.
Yeah, no, here's a guy who I was a fan of and we became buddies. So it was one of those like, whoa, I've reached my goal here.
Me too.
So
wow.
I had Bob here, I had Amon Mukwena here to sit with these young people and tell them about radio and so forth, for community radio station. And the last session, I took them to SABC.
Yeah.
I took them to one of the auditoriums at the SABC for a final lecture there.
Yeah.
And I remember one of them saying, I've arrived.
Oh, sweet man.
Do you know that feeling?
Yeah.
I've always dreamed of this.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Yeah.
For me, one thing we deny young kids, particularly young kids who grow up in former Bantustans, because they still haven't developed as fast as they should have, and also in the townships, is that give them that one glimpse of the possibilities of the world.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're likely to do to their lives.
You know, when you say that, you remind me of another experience. When I moved to Joburg, one of the things that, because I love Joburg so much, the first week I think lessons were starting in the 3rd week or so, or the 4th week.
Yes.
But the week before, that whole week, I took a taxi from Diepkloof to town. And I was learning the streets.
Oh, you're learning.
I was like, okay, it's in Ekasawa or Ilotenaka Andasene. And then I started learning the streets. You know, you get to President, Pritchard.
Listen to you, you still know them.
And then you go up, then, you know, you get to Borisik, then you get to End. And then you'll get there, then I will walk to Noord.
Yeah.
Drive, catch a taxi back to Diepkloof. The following day, same exercise. And then I would learn them.
Wow. You were doing it just for practice purpose.
Yeah. Yes. By the time I got to Elof, De Villiers, Busile, I was like, come on.
I got this.
I made sure that I knew Joburg like the back of my hand.
What?
I knew all the off-ramps. I tried anything and everything because don't forget, the plan was that I was going to live there. I remember there was a time I walked from Noord, I went to Hillbrow, from Hillbrow I went to Yeoville. And then I came back and I'm walking.
It's a very different place now.
Now you can't even walk at all.
Yeah.
Then from when I came back from Yeoville, I came back the other way. Instead of going to the right towards Hillbrow, I went towards the left.
Just to see.
Doornfontein.
Just to see.
And I was like, Doornfontein is boring, man. It was boring. Even got to the point where there's Ellis Park.
Gabo, I know
like,
exactly where you are. By Ponte. It's that side. Yes.
Yeah, and my aunt lived in Ponte. There was a
Okay.
point where she lived in Ponte.
Wow.
I've been, and not Ponte, man, High Point.
Yes,
No,
yes.
babes, Ponte was something.
Oh,
High Point
was something else.
was another.
What is High Point?
High Point was one of the most expensive block of flats in Hillbrow.
Jeez.
And at the bottom, then you can get out to Clorak or Yakubu Fontana.
Oh, yeah. I see
But
that.
it was,
yeah.
When you lived Go High Point, it was top tier. And the
Wow.
funniest thing, the other time I was doing a gig with Somizi and was it Shane? Oh, I think it was Shane. Shane Maja.
Yes.
No, man. Okay, I'll have to ask Somizi on this one. But then they were actually neighbors. They were literally.
What?
There was a point where we lived in the same.
And then you were still kids.
We were still kids. I mean, Somizi was a superstar.
No, of course.
Know?
Sarabina, different
but
world.
I wouldn't know who that was.
Of course.
At the point.
Yeah.
At that point. And I just went on about my business. And we're actually comparing. They're like, oh, Somizi, I was on the 14th floor. I was on the 19th floor, babes. I saw the whole of Joburg.
I could.
Yeah, I could.
Yes.
Wow. And I would walk those streets. Then there's a time I would go to Small Street. I would but I was completely in love with Joburg, even today.
Do you know my first job experience? I was 11. I came for interview for a sponsorship, Anglo American.
Yeah.
And I was given instructions of how to do it and where to get off and then what to. I walked on Small Street when I was 11, all on my own.
What?
Yes, I did. I ended up around Carlton Center, I think. Yeah.
How beautiful was the Carlton Center?
No, but for me, for an 11-year-old, I was more scared than looking at the beauty of the place.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to the Anglo-American office and went back home. Till today, the memory of that trip is so clear. Like it happened yesterday. And I was just an 11-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have my first Joburg experience. You'll find a lot of people with the story that we're telling.
Yeah, and it's so similar. When you Carlton Center, I remember when Athama Fokate won Mr. South Africa.
No, Mr. Soweto.
Mr. Soweto.
Yes.
And Paul Pume won Mr.
Oh, jeez, you remember that.
I used to think I was going to marry Paul Pume. I had such a big crush on him.
What happened? You can still marry him. Sure, he's available.
I think the first time I met him, yeah. He was so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, then when he...
No, of course.
I didn't know him.
Yeah.
But then eventually, much years later, I got to see... I was just like...
It's him. It's still the same. Wow.
No, Shem. What a beautiful, beautiful man. I think even now, he's gorgeous. Yo, wow. But I used to think, Paul Pume.
What a time. Do you know we spoke for so long, we haven't said a word about your acting.
Who cares about that, man?
I can't believe it.
Who cares about that?
I'll tell you something.
But talk about acting.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. When you talk about the kids who you took to
Soweto, rather to SABC.
Yeah, before I even got onto TV, because I started telling you about how I would get to the taxi. But then what I would also do, I learned the bus because Holeko Vestec, you could actually go to the other
which
campus, the one by Auckland Park.
Yes. The Vestec, I forgot what they call it.
Close to
by Labori.
Yeah, the one that is close to
SABC. Yes.
And I would deliberately take that bus, get off, go the tech, and walk to the SABC and just stand outside and look at the Henley building.
What?
Just look at it. Not going
What was making you do that?
It was just that thing. I'm coming. You guys better know that I'm gonna come in here.
Wait a minute.
But I would get there, stand there. I remember there used to be the number of the bus. It was Triumph bus number 66.
You even knew SABC.
Yeah. And the bus stop will park. The bus stop was in front of the TV area park, the blue building.
I see that, yes.
And then Komorago is the radio building. There on that little... where you get
tiny little
street, And I would get off the bus there. And I would literally stand at the bus stop and look
at this building.
Then go around.
To Henley.
Yes. And get on the steps. And the funny thing is that there were a lot of people, a lot of young kids, who will be standing there because they wanted to come and do whether Gem early, whatever.
Yes. Of course. That's when, yeah.
And I also wanted to be there, but I knew that I didn't want to be in the audience, but I wanted to be on TV.
Yes.
But I would take those trips a lot to
Jeez.
just go look at the SABC.
That's amazing.
SABC building.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll be standing there, you'll see someone like Agustin Akitima.
No, of course.
You'll see someone like Desiree Makote. They're running to go read news. And I'm just like, look, like
that's her.
And I wasn't screaming or anything. I'll just look at them and go like, I wish I could say to them, babes, you do know that I'm gonna come in here soon. But
yeah, like you're warming my chair.
I didn't know when and how or what, but I just knew it.
Jeez.
I just knew it.
It's amazing for me how you tell the story of you had a very good sense of where your life will be.
Yeah.
Do you still have that?
Yes.
Do you still have a...
Yes.
This is where I'm going?
Yes.
What is it telling you now?
Right now, I'm going to do amazing movies.
Wow.
Like crazy movies.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, look at the rise at Tusombedu, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And at that time, we didn't have those kind of opportunities. And I'm not saying it was just an opportunity for her. The girl is crazy talented.
Absolutely.
Like crazy. I remember I once sat and, had an opportunity to sit with her while she was still doing that other one.
Yeah.
Or,
oh, yes.
The young
series.
school kids.
I forgot. Yes, the one on these streaming platforms.
But everything that Tuso is going through, I'm not surprised. I was like, this girl's going to be like a superstar. So when it happened, I was just like, come on, I knew that. But with us, when we're at that age, I mean, people like Ntati, Mushidi. I mean, there was a point when Ntati went overseas. A couple of people went and tried.
Go try it out.
And but
a different time.
Different time, because that was the only way you could do it. Right now, you can actually audition here, send the self-tape overseas, and they can cast you or not.
That's it.
But I have a sense, and it's a very big, big sense, or a feeling. And I can tell you right now that you're going to go back to this conversation and say, please, she called it. I have a very strong feeling that era is coming back for us. I was actually having this conversation, Lela Rato Mvelas. We're going to think opportunities went. No. We're gonna get the so-called big break in our 50s.
What makes you say that?
Because it just feels like that.
Yeah.
And it feels right. It feels proper. Like it doesn't matter who I will meet.
It will.
I will not be intimidated. I'll feel like I'm equally allowed to be in that space.
Yeah.
Do
you find something has shifted in the industry, and I call it completely global industry, to allow for that to happen?
Yeah, a lot has changed, especially with us now. We have moved from that point where people who are able, who've got money, the resources to come and tell South African stories, for instance, they come and then they tell the South African stories using even just their actors sometimes. Yes. But now we're at a point where even they themselves, they realize that their investment becomes futile if you don't actually use the authentic
South African
people who know how to tell the story. We move different, we speak different.
And you can't emulate us.
You can't.
Yeah.
We're the only people that you can have 6 languages in one sentence and we all understand each other.
100%.
Yes. And it's easy. And it's easy and it comes so effortless to us. And because it happens to so many of us, we don't get to appreciate the magic.
It's like
what that is.
It's like
we understand.
We don't appreciate the magic of it.
Exactly. But that's what South Africa is. And not just to the rest of Africa, but to the world. There is just something about South Africa that no other place will ever get to experience.
We've seen it. We've seen it give birth to a lot of stars.
Yeah.
And this dates back to many years.
True.
And I will just put a marker on your Hugh Masikelas of this world, and I know you can go further back, but when you start there and come this way, whoa, you find so many. And the last 10 years has done even more.
Yeah.
From your Black Coffees of this world,
Exactly.
to Trevor and
Yeah.
to Sombedu and many others.
And many,
And you
many
look at it
others.
and say, wow, man.
And you know why it's easy for us to say Tuso, Trevor, Brahu, because those are like the guys with the spotlight. Do you know how many people, how many South Africans are in all these international productions? Some of them that are like the best musical score writers for movies. Some of them that are like sound technicians, sound editors. Some of them that are like just literally running studios all over the world. And we just do not know it.
I was sitting right across Mamukoni, and we were talking about. We haven't televised that yet. We will put it just close to the production, to the airing of
yes,
that
of
Black Panther.
Black Panther, yeah.
Yes, and we were having a chat, and she said she was so pleased once in America in the production of the show, there was someone over there, Mamukoni.
Imagine.
And
that.
she's surprised by this, and she looks, hey, Mam Koni, and she wants to know who this person is calling her Mam Koni.
Yeah.
And gets there. No, I work in lighting.
You see?
Wow.
They are every way.
Incredible.
So many South Africans doing the most incredible works around the world. I mean, not just in the entertainment industry, in the motor industry. Do you know how many South African engineers
we have designers and beautiful cars?
They're the people who decide what color this series is going to be. They're the ones. Like, guys, it blows your mind. The things that South Africans can do.
Do you think that sometimes it's our fault for not recognizing what we got? Or what is it?
In a way, which is why I said sometimes, it's one thing when someone stands out, then all of you go like, huh? But it's another when more than half of the population is talented like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
then you say this, it's a thing.
What someone out there is seeing it as magic. For us, it's like, come on, it's normal.
It's nothing.
We all do it.
Yeah.
Understand? So it is not because we do not recognize it. It's because we do it so easily.
So effortlessly.
That we can kind of forget the magical element of it.
Yeah.
Understand? I mean, I hear a lot of people will be talking about how Leonardo plays soccer, how CR plays, CR7 plays, how Pele used to play, how Maradona used to play.
Yes.
And I'm just like, guys, do you know Jomo Sono? Do you know
Skaratinto or whatever?
It was Skaratinto,
and all of those.
I mean, guys, do you know Dr. Kumalo? Oh, by the way, do you know how good Dr. Kumalo looks? Even today.
I like that.
He is embarrassing, actually.
There's a little thing about the life of Dr. Kumalo.
Yes, it's on
TV
now.
shows.
Yes. No, but now I'm even just talking about just seeing him. He is actually, it is just embarrassing.
He still looks good even now.
Looks good. Still looks good.
I like that. I like how you paused. It's like,
Then I also remember I was under the impression that, like, if God given me an opportunity, I'll probably marry Shoes Mushweu.
Oh,
what a beautiful man.
Siba.
What's that king? Siba was the man. But now, because you know what makes all those other soccer stars amazing is how people worshipped their art. So with us, Jomo Drula, then he would sit on the ball and they would give him a yellow card and he wouldn't care. But some of the stunts that he pulled,
jeez,
no one had anything on him, for instance. Teenage Lala.
Oh no, the list is very, very long.
But it's because we are so used to doing it.
That's why I ask. I lived in Durban for 3 years when I was studying at university. In that 3 years, I didn't go to the sea. I didn't.
No. But you knew the sea was there.
Yeah. I would go to town and not go to it.
Yeah.
I didn't touch the ocean in the 3 years I was there. Why do I raise this? I knew it was there, it was easily accessible, and it became not such a big deal. And
nailed it.
Yes.
Nailed it.
But there's a flaw in that concept because you don't see it as a big deal, and that means you fail to use it. I get it. Now you have it. It's not a big deal. It's like when your family owns a butchery, you don't care for cheese and polony.
No.
Because they're
Why?
always
Who is
there.
that?
Yeah, exactly. And then, but you recognize it when you're looking outside in. Hore, maybe what I have is a privilege.
Yeah.
Because I would look back many years later, my mom would ask me, "Did you go to the sea?" It's like, no, I
don't
didn't.
feel
Why
like-
don't you?
It's there, man. Come on. Who goes to
You
the
see,
sea?
now I say maybe there's a flaw in our inability to recognize the greatness of what we have. And maybe we should be doing.
We should be doing more of that.
If we
You know what?
recognized it, we would use it more.
You know what? That's one of the things that the Americans kind of mastered.
Thank you.
Those guys, they'll make a big deal out of a flag.
Even if it's half the talent.
Yeah.
It still
not
becomes
even.
bigger.
They will blow it up out, like they will blow it out of proportion. And they'll just be like, but you're like, "Ah, guys, but I can do that." Come on. And I know 12 other guys who can pull that stunt. You know what I
Easily.
mean? Easily. But then they look like, wow. I like giving this weird typical example of the magic that is South African. I think we are the only people. And I'm just speaking for South Africans because but I know it's a thing that happens, especially all over Africa.
Yeah.
I think we're the only people that if someone goes, Jehovah Telumoya, we're all in the same key. Then everybody picks. Someone goes alto tenor. Nobody goes like, okay, guys, we're gonna sing Rekopadi bass. No,
Everybody takes position.
no, nobody takes position. Where you are, you come in.
There you go. Yes.
And everyone is in harmony. We don't have to say 1 2 1 2. You just start and everybody comes in.
Wow.
You know what? That's magic.
Yeah.
No conductor.
No.
Nothing.
You find it in a train.
Nothing.
You find it at a funeral.
It's so that thing, that magic is so much in our DNA that it has become such second nature. And when something becomes second nature, you kind of tend to.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal anymore.
And that's why I say if we were to spice up that magic with the American confidence
Exactly.
of even if it's half cooked, I will serve it and I will make it look like it's the best meal you've ever had. Maybe there's a flaw in our ability.
Have you seen? You know, Tandisa sings some notes like she's yawning.
It's not a big deal.
At that point, you're just like, huh? Did she just? No.
And she did.
And she did. And then she just go, and then she throws in these things, and then she goes.
Yes.
And you're just like, so did she, when she woke up, did she know she was gonna do it like this? But because it is so much.
Yeah, it's in her blood.
Second nature.
Mara, we need to spice up the American. What is the word? I don't know.
They call it the American dream, born.
Yeah, let's.
You know how.
You
know how everyone wanted to go live in America, and it's only when they get there, like, guys, it doesn't look the same way that they told us it does.
I like
people hyped it up.
Boiti once tweeted, and like America, ke mooi van fair.
Exactly.
I agreed with that.
But when they sell it
like it's the best thing in the world.
And then these guys, they come and they see. They're like, we can't believe how clean the city is. We can't believe how this is. We can't believe you guys. Some of the things where you're just like, oh yeah, but then that is not the only one. If you turn around, if you turn the corner, there's 6 others.
Yes.
And then if you go that way, there are 12 others.
An American once asked me with fascination that your houses are built with bricks.
Exactly. I said to
No. Built with bricks.
These ones, Baba put a trailer. They go.
Nothing like that.
They're solid and they don't believe the amount of land that we actually have.
Yeah.
You know?
What is wrong with us then? You know, you if one was looking at it, this conversation and stopped here.
Yeah.
Before I even ask what is wrong with us.
Yeah.
They would think, oh, they're fine. Don't worry. They're good.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of problems.
But and you know, sometimes you'll think people are holding on to the bitterness of the ripple effect of the apartheid system that it had on us. That thing, it cannot be erased. 100 years from now, it will still be a thing. And apartheid is not just about being uprooted from Sophia Town, from Triumph to Sophia, or from nice and to be
from Sophia to Soweto.
Soweto.
Yes.
No, it's not that. It is not that. This is a system where it is beyond physical. It is mental. It plays with your mind, and it unnerves and unsettles your spirit and misplaces your soul.
Jeez.
So we have so many things to deal with.
Yeah.
You understand? And people forget that it's not just, oh yeah, Mandela came out and then we are now in power. No. The freedom is the ability to unlock some of those things and put them back in order. The rebuilding was not just because we all went and voted. It's not like now I can live in Sandton and I've got a nice house, I've got a nice car.
Tip 10%.
I can go eat it with
anywhere I want.
No. Those are superficial stuff. It's like taking a coat of paint and trying to paint on broken walls.
Yeah.
Those walls needed to be completely broken down
and rebuild.
Yes. And then take the bricks again and see what it is that you can save from that rubble and try and rebuild. And it is very unfair, very, very unfair for anybody to expect a black person who has been through that kind of rubbish to just wake up happy,
and everything is okay,
wake up ecstatic, and be able to just go to work and do this. It is very selfish for anybody to expect that of us. We were not really in the struggle back then, but that ripple effect.
And it carries over to generations.
Yes. Yeah. That is why the next generation will still feel it. The one after them, they'll still feel it. So you do not tell us to get over it.
Yeah.
It is beyond getting over it. And that kind of discord changes a lot of things. Goes back to how things that are not a big deal. You know why we are not doing anything about it? Because the will and the ability to do something about it has been messed up with. And
it's not in the manual.
It is not in the manual.
Yeah, when you're like, that was not there.
Yeah. So you do not mess with a whole it's not even a whole lineage of tradition, of beliefs, of status quo, of foundation. And then you think, a mere 20 years will fix it.
Not possible.
No, it's not. So, which is why we need people. We need leadership. We want communities. We want nations, blocks, whatever. We want people that will slowly but surely know that I will not fix this. It is way above me to fix it. But the little 5 bricks that I can lay,
I will lay them.
I will lay them. And whoever comes after me, they will lay their 5. The others will lay 2. Others will have more power and lay 10. But this is something that it will take years and years and years to rebuild. And for the mere fact that all of us, we still manage to live through it, be successful, have a life, get an education, get a job, live comfortably,
grow a family,
families,
yes, and
have kids, get married, and we still manage to do all of that in spite of everything that we as a people have gone through. That should tell you the level of magic that we are.
Wow. This is a speech and a half. When I read what you just said, you've given all of us hope. You've given most of us offload the burden of this has to be fixed very quickly. Because if we don't, we're going to lose it all. And we're going to turn what was once a beautiful country into all of it looks like Marawastad.
Exactly.
Where it's just anybody's do whatever they want.
King David Studio Podcast.